What's up everyone? Welcome or welcome back to the Marketing Nomad YouTube channel. I am the Marketing Nomad. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about what I've been going through in the past week. There's been this growing feeling within me and I've been a little bit unmotivated to work, and the feeling has kind of intensified in the last 2 days in particular. And this morning it was kind of at its peak. I was like, no, I don't want to work. I don't want to. I just woke up and I'm like, I don't want to. And I also did not have a video planned for today, and I kind of forced myself to get out of bed, came downstairs and finished my morning routine, and I just sat at my table and I opened my journal, and very instinctively, all right, I just put my journal on my table and I just started writing everything that was in my mind, everything that was in my heart. And it took me quite some time, but I recognized that this was actually a reflex action that I've developed over the years to deal with feeling unmotivated, and I wanted to share that with you. That by itself brought like this huge motivation to share this video with you. So let's get a little bit into what happened and what my journey has been to get to this point. All right. So in the past, especially during the beginning years of my business, every time I would feel unmotivated, I thought that it was me being lazy, and I would go all out. I would push myself. I would be like, no, you have to get out. You have to do this. You whatever you've planned for today, you have to finish it. And I would push myself till a point where I would be extremely burned out after a good period of time. And so the lesson that I learned at that point in time was, okay, if I'm feeling unmotivated, it means I need to rest. I shouldn't be pushing myself to a point of exhaustion, to a point of burnout. So I kind of overcorrected, to be very honest with you. I went to the other spectrum, the other side of the spectrum, and every time that I was feeling unmotivated, I would just like stop working. I would take a step back. And while that worked for certain situations, I realized that certain times that I was feeling unmotivated, I actually needed to work. I actually needed to gain momentum. And yeah, that was very confusing for me. Like understanding the difference in why I was feeling unmotivated, the different reactions that I need to have, and the different solutions to me feeling unmotivated. That by itself was a huge process. Let me tell you, it's taken me years to come to this point to understand that, okay, when I'm feeling unmotivated, there are different reasons for it. My first thing is to understand why. Why am I feeling unmotivated? And I decided I would sit down today and talk to you about it. Now, if I sound a little bit different, it's because I'm recovering from some kind of cold. Yeah, it's been a bit intense for me health-wise, physical health-wise, and I'm recovering from that. So if I sound different or look different, yeah, that's probably a reason why. Alrighty, so where was I? Completely forgot. I was talking a little bit about, yes, my instant reaction today, and I realized that this has become such a reflex action for me, and it's also a sign of growth for me, because back then every time I'd feel unmotivated, it was just one thing that I would do. Either I would go completely off the hook, not even touch my work, and then learning lessons from that, then I would push myself, and then I would not be able to figure out how I'm supposed to deal with this feeling unmotivated. And more times than not, I would actually mishandle me feeling unmotivated. And the reason why I was feeling unmotivated and what I should have done would hit me much later, after all substantial damage had been done with my misaligned action. So today, the way that I deal with feeling unmotivated is actually very simple, which is why I wanted to sit down here and speak to you about it. I very clearly first understand what is the reason behind me feeling unmotivated, because there are going to be reasons. One part of it could be maybe there is some aspect of your business that's not working well and you're feeling dejected about it. You're not feeling the push to work on it because it's not giving you the results that you're looking for. Another aspect of it is maybe you've overexhausted yourself. Another reason could be maybe there is a core problem that you've not figured out a solution, and until you figure out a solution, maybe you feel that internal resistance within you to carry on other parts of your business, so on and so forth. There are multiple reasons for feeling unmotivated. Maybe you have a different aspect of your life that is affecting you, that is emotional, that you've not processed emotionally or mentally or even physically as well, and you need that space and that time, and it's kind of pushing into work. Because just because we are passionate about what we do and we love what we do as entrepreneurs and solopreneurs or business owners, it does not mean that there will not be moments where we will feel unmotivated. It is a very natural thing. And this is something that took me some time to understand, that I shouldn't hold it against myself when I am feeling unmotivated. Because while it is a privilege, absolutely, it is a privilege for one to pursue a line of passion, find something that they are passionate about and show up for it. That should not come at the detriment of our mental, emotional, physical health. All right. And in the past, I definitely, kept over pushing myself, because I felt, okay, I'm doing something that I'm passionate about. That by itself is something that I should be so grateful for, that I cannot slack off or I cannot be lazy. And I would take feeling unmotivated as me being lazy or me, slacking off. But over the years, what I've come to realize is there are different reasons for that. And it is actually never, ever had to do with me being lazy or me slacking off. There was always an underlying reason that I need to figure out, I need to work through in order to feel that motivation rise within me. And just because we're passionate about what we do, we shouldn't blame ourselves or hold it against ourselves or feel upset, angry with ourselves for feeling unmotivated. All right, so that's one thing that I wanted to bring up with this. And now let's come to how I deal with feeling unmotivated. And trust me, this process has taken so long for me to figure out. It's such a simple process, but it took me a very long time to come to this point. But I hope that it gives you a starting point to figure out how you need to deal with your moments when you feel unmotivated about your work in particular. All right. So for me, the instinct was just to sit at my table, at my work table. That is very important. The environment that you're in, it needs to, whichever area of your life that you're struggling to feel motivated with, try to be in that environment, try to be in that surrounding. Your surrounding has energy as well. So that's the spiritual aspect of it. But even on a more conscious level, it's about the subconscious things that go in your mind when you are in the environment. So in your work environment, automatically you step into that mode. We call it the mode, right? Work mode, slacking off mode, or I guess play mode, so on and so forth. So it automatically puts you into that zone, that mode. So if you want to take it the conscious way, that's the reason why, or that's the reason that I figured out for myself. If you want to take it the more spiritual route, that reason also exists. All right, so be in the environment where you're feeling unmotivated about. So for me, it was my study area. So I've been using this room ever since like my school days, my engineering days, and now my work. So this is still my study room. I still haven't gotten used to calling it my work room. So I call it my study room. So for me, this is my study, and I sat over here, took out my journal, and I just sat with my journal, and I literally penned down every single thought that was in my mind. And more importantly, I started recounting every single thing that had happened in the past 2 weeks, just because I know that why I'm feeling unmotivated has something to do with what is happening in my life, whether it is with this business or outside of it as well. So I just started writing down like what I was going through, and more importantly, how I was feeling about it as well. Was it overwhelming me? Was it underwhelming me? Was I feeling sad? Was I feeling happy? And I just started jotting it down. For me, it was 2 weeks. I took a timeline of 2 weeks. For you, it could be a month. For sometimes it could be 3 months as well. Maybe it just piles up for such a long time that one day it just explodes like a volcano. that also can happen. So take the timeline according to your preference. Take the timeline according to what you feels right for you. For me, it wasn't like I had done a check-in about the beginning of the month, so I knew it wasn't too long ago. So I knew that the timeline that I should pick was about 2 weeks. And as I was working through what had happened and my thoughts about it, my feelings about it particularly, I realized what the reason behind me feeling unmotivated was. And that was such a moment of click for me, and I immediately felt like I had to share this video with you because this has become such a reflex for me. Every time my feeling of this unmotivated energy starts rising within me and it comes to beyond a certain threshold, immediately it clicks in my mind that I got to figure out why. And that is my first tip to you. Every time you're feeling unmotivated, figure out the reason why. That is very, very important. There is always some underlying reason for that. Figure it out. All right. So I figured out what my reason was, and I'll share it with you. I don't want to go into too much details because it's a very new aspect of my business. I'm still figuring it out. I don't want to share too much of it, but I will explain the gist of it. I'm pretty sure you will also be able to relate as an entrepreneur or even a solopreneur as well. So there is a new vertical that I've set up in my business. This was about 1.5 years ago, but relatively it is new compared to the 6 years of the marketing nomad. The other verticals, I guess I would say. And this vertical, there is a core problem to it, all right? And I spend most of my energy on that vertical of my business. And because of this core problem, it has been feeling like I'm on a hamster wheel because I've not been able to find the solution. It's not like I haven't tried. I have tried looking for solutions. I have tried to implement. I have tweaked. It's just I'm not finding the right fit to that problem. It's kind of like there is a nut and then there's a screw, but then it's the wrong screw. I'm not able to find the right screw for that particular nut. And sometimes I feel like I'm forcing different solutions. It's just not working out basically. And because of that, and we'll talk about this in another video, what to do if you're not able to find a solution to a problem. So at that point in time, I decided to let go. I said, okay, I'm not finding a solution. Maybe, I'm too stressed out about this, or maybe it's just overwhelming me too much. I'm not able to see things clearly. I need to take a step back. So I had taken a step back from trying to solve that problem, from actively trying to solve that problem. Let me correct that. And now what's happened because of that core problem is I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel because I just feel like I'm going. I'm spending so much of energy on that. And that core problem, without the solution, all my energy is being taken from me, but it's not coming back to me in the way that I would expect, or I'm feeling a lot of drain because it's not giving me the results that I'm looking for. And it will give me the results that I'm looking for if I find the aligned solution for that problem. And it was kind of getting to me, like on a more mental note, it was really getting to me that I was spending so much of my time and I had to keep that vertical of my business running, right? So it's kind of getting to me that I was spending so much of energy on that, but I was not able to find the solution, or the solution was not coming to me. And it was getting to me, I was feeling very unmotivated. And because it takes up a huge chunk of my portion of the day, right? It was a bit it was snowballing into something within me, and I caught that with my writing. For me, and for you, it could be different ways, but putting it on paper really helps. It helps to kind of remove the clutter, or I guess if it's a ball of thread in my mind, it helps me to untangle as I put it on paper. For someone that I know, it's more of verbally expressing it. Just even saying it out loud, it just clears their mind. For other people, they video record themselves. So you would have your own technique of decluttering your mind. But I would say the first step to feeling unmotivated is to figure out why. Why are you feeling that way? And one of the ways to do that is to dig into what's happened in the past few weeks and try to understand what you've been feeling about that, what has been kind of overflowing into whatever it is that you are feeling unmotivated about. So that clicked for me. And then once you figure out your why, it becomes that much more easier for you to figure out how to tackle feeling unmotivated. So in this particular case, it's not rest. It's not rest that I need, because rest is not going to do anything for me. I'm not physically tired, but I'm tired of not having a solution to a problem that is draining my energy. So I need to figure out the solution to that problem. That is how I will get out of feeling unmotivated. So you understand how the solution of me feeling unmotivated is very, very specific to why I'm feeling unmotivated. So it's very important to understand the why. And this is the method that's worked for me. Feel free to use this as a starting point to figure out what works for you. So then I started thinking of ways to resolve this feeling of unmotivated. What do I do? Then I decided, okay, I'm going to give myself, I've got a little bit of client work to do, and that will take about an hour of my time. But after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to allocate today and tomorrow just to work on the problem, just to try and find a solution to that. It could be a temporary fix, it could be a permanent fix, I don't know, but I am going to spend some time on that. And I will do my best. Maybe I have to do research, maybe I have to brainstorm, but I'm going to dedicate that time specifically to finding a solution to that particular problem. Maybe now, my mind is a little bit more clear. Maybe now I have the energy to work through it, or maybe now, because I'm so frustrated with it, maybe I will find a solution. You never know, right? So I decided, and the moment I came up with that solution, I could feel just that calmness sweep all over me, like, okay, she's doing something to help us with our, feeling this unmotivated energy within us. And I could feel my mind and my body relaxing as well. And just understanding that there is something that we're doing to resolve that. Sometimes when you're feeling unmotivated, the thing is to rest. Other times it is to do something to help elevate, or to help reduce, I guess I would say, to help reduce the feeling that you are going through within, right? So I think that it's important to understand the reason behind why you're feeling unmotivated. And I wanted to share this with you. This video wasn't part of my plan, to be very honest with you, but the moment it clicked, the moment I got the solution that, okay, we are going to reserve some time to just deal specifically with the problem so that it doesn't feel like we are on a hamster wheel, so that we can start feeling better about that vertical of our business. That by itself, that whole click made me feel like, okay, this is something that's happening live at this point in time. I don't know if I'm going to find a solution. Frankly telling you, I don't know if I'm going to find a solution. I've been trying to find that solution for a very long time now. I don't know, but at least even thinking about setting time aside to find that solution calmed me down a lot. It kind of pushed up that motivation within me, like, yes, okay, let's do that. Let's try again. Let's see how we can work through it. And it also kind of fueled the motivation for me to show up over here and talk about it as well. Even though I didn't have a video planned at all for, TMN, because I was feeling a little bit low, and I was like, I'm just feeling very unmotivated about my business. And that's also it, You might think that you're feeling unmotivated about your entire business, but it's actually, the more I dug into it, it was one vertical of it and one problem in that vertical. It wasn't even about the whole vertical as well. And it was about how my relationship with that core problem, that was a problem, So that also, it helps you narrow down specifically. And then the moment I realized that it was the core problem, I was like, okay, but then I can do a video, right? I mean, that's TMN, that's a separate vertical, that's something completely different. And so that also helped me, segregate that. I feel like my energy is spent over there. I'm not getting back the return on investment, but that's not how I feel on TMN. So why am I letting that energy flood into this? Why am I, I need to focus my unmotivation, I guess I would say. I don't know if that's a word, but we're going to run with it, to just that. And so that also helped me segregate, and that also helped me show up over here as well. So I wanted to share this with you because I think that many a times, we feel, okay, we are not supposed to feel unmotivated because we've been given this privilege of following our passion, but that's not it. Yes, it is a privilege, but that also does not mean that you won't have these moments of, feeling unmotivated about what you're doing. And how you deal with that, it makes all the difference. So the more you can identify why you're feeling that way, and come up with solutions for that. Come up with either to-do lists, and sometimes the to-do list is to rest, whatever it is. So figure out the core problem of why you're feeling unmotivated and what you can do about that. That will help you feel that motivation come back as well. At least it has worked for me. I am going to, even if I don't find a solution to the core problem, at least I am working on it. And that by itself motivates me a lot. At least I'm putting energy towards that. All right. So that by itself, I'm feeling like, okay, yes, my motivation is coming back up. I can do this. We'll sit and try to find, the problem's pretty big. All right. It is an intense problem, and it's not I can't get a cookie cutter solution for that problem because I am very intricately linked to that problem. It is heavily dependent on me. So I can't even look for answers outside of me. It has to come from within me based on my strengths and my weaknesses and my energy level, my creativity, so on and so forth, what I'm comfortable with. So it's very specific to me. So I can't even look outside for a solution. So I don't know if I'm going to find a solution, in the next couple of days for that particular problem. But even just thinking that, yes, I will spend some time, I'll take away things from my schedule and just focus on that, keep my mind free of everything else and just focus on that. That by itself, it's really helping me with my my relationship with motivation. So I wanted to tell that to you. This process has helped me a lot. I wanted to share it with you in case you were struggling with feeling unmotivated and you didn't know where to start with it. So this has helped me, and I wanted to share that with you. All right. Okay, so this is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading has given you a starting point to think about your own relationship with feeling unmotivated and how to develop a healthy relationship with it as well. All right, so take care, and if you like this video, do give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because that tells you every single time I do upload a YouTube video, and I'll catch you in my next one. Take care, bye-bye.